Hello everyone, today we're learning about Mציעא Daf Ches. So we're going to start from the Mishnah where we got to. The Mishnah says, Motza gitei noshim v'shichrurei avodim daitiki matonu v'shoivrim Aryeh ze lo yachzir shani oime ksuvim oyo v'nim lo cholim shelo nitno. Meaning, if someone found a divorce, a get, or release of a slave, or daitiki means a present that a person gives on his deathbed, or matona, or document saying that Reuven gave Shimon a present. V'shoivim a receipt saying, let's say, the guy paid off his loan. You should not give them back. Why? Because we are choishesh. Maybe they wrote these documents, but they changed their mind and they didn't want to give the get, or they want to give the present, or they want to give the receipt. So therefore, you should not give it back. Said the Gemara, diuk tama denim lach shelo litnon hoyomat nu noisnim afilu lizman meruba. It's mashma. What's the whole chashash? That maybe he never wanted to give it. He never gave it at the end. He wrote a present. He wanted to give £1 million present to his friend, and he changed his mind. So if he'll give it now to his friend, he'll take this present that he doesn't deserve. But if the guy admits and he says, yes, I want to still give the present, or I gave the present and this is a document, you'll give him the document. There's no chashash, even if it's been a while since you found this shtar. Now, we're going to ask a kasha from a get. One of the cases in the Mishnah is a get. If you found the get that says Reuven's divorcing his wife, so if it's mashma from the Mishnah, if he admits that he divorced his wife, you can give it back to his wife even after a long time. As a Gemara kasha, Veriminhu, we have another Mishnah, maybe get, V'ovadim, and someone who's bringing, he's a messenger, and he was bringing a get from place to place, from the husband to the woman to give it to her. Motzele alta, if he lost it, and he found it straight away, kosher. He could continue on his mission and give it back. Im lav, if he didn't find it straight away, though we choishesh maybe the one that he found is a different get, possible. What's the difference? Why now Mishnah's mashma, if it's lost, it's kosher, if the guy admits, and here, even though that we know that he wants to give a get, if it's after a while, it's possible. Says the Gemara, Marabba loy kashya, kan b'mokom she'ashayoros mitzuyas, kan b'mokom she'ein ashayoros mitzuyas. Our Mishnah is talking about where you found in a place where not lots of people pass. There's not lots of caravans of people going across this area. So therefore, if I find it after a long time, I'm not choishesh, this is a different get. But when the Mishnah over there, it said that you do have to be choishesh that it's a different get if you didn't find it straight away. It's because lots of people go over there. That's Rabba's teretz. Said the Gemara on this. V'afilu b'mokom she'ashayoros mitzuyas v'hu she'uchzuku shnei Yosef ben Shimon berachas. Now, together with Rabba saying that when are we choishesh that it's a different get, we said where there's lots of people go across, you need another condition, says the Gemara. You need that, like, let's say it says in the get, Yosef ben Shimon is giving a get. You need to know that in the same town there's another Yosef ben Shimon. And if there's no other Yosef ben Shimon in this town, so we're not choishesh, even though that the shayoros mitzuyas, we're not choishesh, and you could, to say that this is someone else's get, and you could use this get. So today, to be choishesh, you need two conditions. A, lots of people going over there. B, that there's two people with the same name in the same city. Says the Gemara, how do I know that we need this extra condition? The Iloi Teimoch, if you won't say so, Kashya the Rabba, last year steer on Rabba. Why? They found the get in the best din of Rav Huna, the Abekosed Bey. They said in it, B'Shiyuri Masa, in a city called Shiyuri, Dal Rochis Nara, that sits on the river Rochis, and they didn't know, should they use it or not use this get? Omar Rav Huna Chayshinon L'Shnei Shiyuri. Even though then this Shiyuri, we know that there's only one person with this name, but because maybe there's a whole other village called Shiyuri, so therefore you can't use this get, and we choishesh this is not the proper get, and you can't use it. Rav Chizda told Rabba, Puk ayin bo, look into this case. That in the morning, boy minoch Rav Huna is going to ask you this shaila, what's the din in such a case? No fagdak vashkach. He went out and he was medayik and he found. Ditnan, it says a Mishnah, Kol Ma'aseh Bezdin Already Achzir, anything. What do they mean, Kol Ma'aseh Bezdin? Anything that came to Bezdin, and Bezdin said this is a good document and it was lost now, you should give it back. So Rabbah said, not like Rav Huna, you could use this get because this get was signed in Bezdin that it's a good get, so therefore you don't have to be choishish for another shiuri. In the best dinner of Huna, lots of people come. It's like with lots of caravans. The Koposhit Rova, the Achze, and Rabbah still said that what the din, you should give it back, even though that there's lots of people. Alma, what do we see from here? They need another condition. You need two conditions, not only that there's lots of people like the best dinner of Huna, you need also that you know that there's two Yosef ben Shimon in the same city, and that's why you need to be choishesh. Because otherwise you'd have a steer. Here Rabbi said you should give it back in the case of Rav Huna. And Bayasi said if Shayoris Mitzuyus, you shouldn't give it back. Or Rav Huna is a Shayoris Mitzuyus. Elamai, you need another condition. They need that should be muchzik, that there's two Yosef ben Shimons in the city. Ovad Rabba Uvda Beikisna de Pumbedisa Kishmaitza. There was a story. Soon we're going to see what Beikisna exactly means in Pumbedisa, something to do with the cotton place. And Rabbah did, like his halacha, that you need two things, also Shayoras Mitzuyas, and also Uchzeku, two people with the same name, and otherwise he gave it back, because in that case, he didn't have both conditions, he gave back the get, and he said it's a kosher get. Some people say some people explain that where was this find? In the place where you sell cotton in the marketplace and there's lots of people there. And the reason why he said this is a kosher get, because he said, we don't have two Yosef ben Shimon in the same city. And we need two conditions like we just said. And some people say, it's talking about that was found in a place where they work on the flax, not in the marketplace, and there's not lots of people go there, only the workers go over there. So it's not Mokum Shashayaras Mitzuyah. So even though that there was two Yosef ben Shimon in the same city, we don't have to be choishesh because it has only one condition, because it's not Mokum Shashayaras Mitzuyah, and that's why the get is kosher. So we had a Mishnah, it said that Meduyek L'chor from the Mishnah that if the Baal's Moide, you give back a get even after a long time, and then we had the Kasha from another Mishnah. Rab Zera learned to steer differently from a Mishnah to the Brisa. Let's see. Rab Zera Romi Masnisa in a Brisa. He asked the Kasha from the Mishnah on the Brisa. So Mishani, and he answers. And it says in the Mishnah, maybe get V'obadimeno Matzoyla Alta Kosher V'imlav Posel. You could see only if you find it straight away, then it's kosher. But if it's later on, it's Posel. V'rimino, and I'll have a Kasha from a Brisa. It says in the Brisa, Motzo get Isha Bashuk. You found the get of a Isha in the market. Bizman Shabal Moida. In the case where the husband admits that he gave the get, you should give it back to the woman. The husband says, I never gave this get. Don't give it not to the husband and not to the wife. It said in the Brisa, when the Baal agrees, he should give it back to the woman. It doesn't say short time, a long time, when he found it, maybe he found it a long time afterwards, and it says he should still give it back when the Baal's moida. Why is it different from the Brisa before? We said the Mishnah that says only straight away if you find it, you can give it back and use it. Says the Gemara, Mishani, what did the Reb Zera answer on this kasha? Can be mokom shayaras mitzuyas, can be mokom she'enes shayaras mitzuyas. Like what Rabbah said, that the difference between the Mishnah and the Brisa where it says that you could give it back, it's talking about where Eina Shayoris Mitzuyas. And in the Mishnah where it says only if you found it straight away, if you found it after a while, you can't use a get because there's lots of people over there. It's a place where Shayoris are Mitzuyas. Some people explain in Reb Zera that Reb Zera also learns like Rabbah that it's not only Shayoris Mitzuyas, you also need Huchzuku, that we know that there's two people in the same name, like the name in the get. And some people say no, Rabbi Zera holds that even if there's shayoras mitzuyas, even though that there isn't huchzuku shnei Yosef ben Shimon, afilu hachi, you can't give the get because we're choishesh, maybe there is another Yosef ben Shimon and therefore it fell from him because there's lots of people. We're choishesh, maybe this is a different get. And therefore, Rabbi Zera, lefi this pshat, will be choilik on Rabbi who holds you need two conditions to passel it. Rabbi Zera holds it's enough one condition to passel this get. Said the Gemara, Bishleim Rabba Loyar Rab Zera. Why didn't Rabba ask the kasha like Rab Zera? He asked from the Mishnah on the Mishnah, and he answered, Kan Shasharos Mitzuris, Kan Change Shayos Mitzuris. Why? Maslisin Alimele Lakshuye. A Mishnah is stronger than a Brisa. He prefers to ask a stira between two Mishnayos. Ela Rab Zera, my time Loyar Rabba. Why didn't Rab Zera learn the stira like Rabba between the Mishnayos? Why did he ask a stira between a Mishnah and a Brisa? Omalecho Mikotoni. Ha'oma tniu noisnim vafilu lezman meruba dilma ha'oma tnu noisim lo'ilom kedekaimelon le'alta. Reb Zera says in one brayso in the Mishnah it says that Mishnah Gittin, if he found the get, if the shliach lost the get and he found it straight away, he can use it. But if he found it after a while, he can't use it. You can't ask a stira from our Mishnah because our Mishnah on Amud Aleph who's mashma that if the Baal admits that it's a good get, you should give it back and it's kosher. It doesn't say how long after was lost. Maybe it's talking about like the other Mishnah in Gittin, they found it straight away, and therefore there's no stira bichlal. So that's why if they're going to ask the kasha from our Mishnah, you prefer to ask the kasha from the Brisa where it says clearly that if the Baal admits, you give it back, and the Mishnah doesn't tell you Lizman Meruba or not. So that's why Reb Zera prefers to ask a kasha, even though it's from a brisa, but it's a stronger kasha the way he understands. Says the Gemara, "Leman da'oman leReb Zera b'makom shasharos mitzuyos v'af al gav delo yuchzuku shnei Yosef ben Shimon upliga derabba b'maykom mifligi." We said that when Reb Zera entered his teretz, kan shasharos mitzuyos, kan she'eina shayaros mitzuyos, we said we're not sure if Reb Zera. There's two pshatim in the Reb Zera say you need two conditions, shayaros mitzuyos and huchzuku, or it's enough shayaros mitzuyos to passel it. So lefi the shitta that Reb Zera and Rabba choilek, the Rabba holds you need two conditions. One, that shayaros mitzuyos. Two, huchzuku to Yosef ben Shimon. Only then it's possible. And Reb Zera says no, it's enough that shayaros mitzuyos to passel it. Why the machloikes? Said the Gemara, Rabba Sova the Ktoni Kol Maise Bezdin Arezi Yachzir. It says anything that Bezdin signed on it's a good shtar, you should give it back. It's talking about Dashkach be Bezdin Askin, and you found it in Bezdin. U Bezdin b'mokom shasheres mitzuyos. And Bezdin is a place where lots of people are. So it's like mokom shasheres mitzuyos. And afilu ochi, what did it say over there in the Mishnah? The Kol Maise Bezdin Arezi Yachzir. Therefore, that's why he adds and says, no, you need another condition. That's why he adds another condition. The Mishnah over there where he found it in a public place with lots of people and afilu och yachze, because you need another condition of huchzeku. So the what's pshat in Reb Zera? How will Reb Zera learn it? So the Gemara, Reb Zera mlecha miktoni kol ma'ase bezdin shenimtzu bebezdin. Does it say kol ma'ase bezdin that was found in Bezdin? Kol ma'ase bezdin yachzir ktoni. It says anything that was brought to Bezdin at one stage to sign that it's a good shtar, you should give it back. But where did you find it? In a place where not many people go, and therefore you don't have to come onto this extra condition of huchzuku shnei Yosef ben Shimon. Rav Irmiyah says another teretz that nothing to do with shayoras mitzuyos or not. The case where he said where you give back the get, if the husband admits, it's talking about going to Karmri Eidim Oilom lo yichosamnu el get echod shel Yosef ben Shimon. It says two Eidim in the get, and we ask these Eidim, did you ever sign a get of Yosef ben Shimon? They say yes, only once. So therefore, we're not choishesh it's someone else, a different Yosef ben Shimon, because they never signed. These Eidim never signed for the other Yosef ben Shimon, and therefore there's no kasha. Says the Gemara, Yochi Maile Memra. What's the chiddush if the Eidim are made that they only signed on one get? So the Gemara, maybe we have to be choishesh, like it's the same name as someone else in the get. Maybe let's be choishesh that the Eidim also, it says Reuven and Shimon are Eidim. Maybe it's a different Yosef ben Shimon and a different Reuven Shimon. Kamash Malon, that's so far-fetched, that also the names of the people, of the husband and the wife are the same, and also the Edimus are the same. For that, we don't have to be choishesh. Thank you very much. Everyone should have a very blessed day.